Ah. Okay, Mr. Rabbit.
How many rabbits do you need to defeat?
Yeah, I don't think
he's mocking you. He's openly mocking.
So I think one thing to set clear from the beginning is that 1.2.6 is primarily a game update that is supporting Frostline. There's a lot of survival features coming with Frostline, so we wanted to make sure, that
Yeah. So there was a lot of feedback of people wanting more like survival elements.
Yes.
So I think this is the update or one of the updates that should address that.
Not gonna be showing it today. I mean, Frostline, the map Sakal, we're gonna be focusing on Chernarus, and we will talk about a lot of things, what Frostline brings to the table, and how it changes the gameplay on the existing maps too, not just on Sakal. Yeah, so we basically wanted to make the fishing more engaging. So we've added basically an event we call a signal. You have to keep an eye on the water. If you see the signal, you have to release the action key. And basically on your timing, you may actually catch it or not.
Okay.
We've also rewarded the fishing chances. Like this. We go quite into detail when it comes to the gear that we use. One of the things that I can also show you is that we've not only got this new fishing jig, which is like basically an item, like a hook and a bait in one. You don't have to dig for worms anymore. The other thing that we've done is you are able to craft a wooden hook now. So you don't have to kill people or animals to get the bone hooks.
Okay.
The wooden hook is kind of like an entry level. So yeah, I'm gonna use the fishing jig on a improvised fishing rod. We'll see how that works out.
Okay.
I also had a field shovel, and I can show you like one of the other things that we've added is like if you try to use a shovel to dig the worms in the ground. So I think new animation even.
Oh.
And if you use the shovel, it will give you more worms, actually. We have 3 worms. I will take them. Maybe we're going to use them. Oh, yeah, and I forgot. There's one more thing that we've actually added, like usability-wise. The process of creating the bait isn't by crafting anymore. You just attach.
Just attach, okay.
You just attach
I mean, it's, yeah.
So it's much simpler.
More convenient, yeah.
Okay, so now I will have to focus, though.
Okay, everyone focus on Adam focusing on the water.
I put the bait and see I have to release it. It's written at the lower bottom of the screen.
Okay.
Oh!
Nice.
We've added some particles, as you can see, and also some sound effects. So like these are little splashes, the character, like sometimes. I'm using the improvised one, but if you use the proper one, yeah, like you will hear some other sounds too. So that is one of the things that is connected to Frostline, obviously, but it will be, basically spread across the entire game. Is that we've looked at the simulation of the item temperature essentially, and looked at it how it works when it's on fireplace, when it's spawned in the world, and so on. I mean, like when you think about it, like the entire like challenge of Frostline was like to make sure that like our game mechanics work on all the different environments that we have, right? And we will touch on that like later, but yeah, I mean, you have summer Livonia, which is fairly warm, then you have autumn Chernarus, and then you have Sakal, which is very cold environment. So we had to make sure that ideally our game systems just react to a simple change as just changing a number, a server-side number, temperature of the world, and the system will react. I mean, community servers may opt in to have Chernarus warmer and they will set it to summer. Obviously, that doesn't mean that the environment itself changes, right? Like, it still remains autumn. I'm just making a fire here. Yeah. Just gonna make the fish, and you're gonna see like how the items are actually changing temperature-wise.
This is a big thing. Because and you see all these statuses from damp. Yeah, it's.
You can see that like we've also simplified the temperature label. Previously, it was showing some degrees of Celsius. We figured out that like it's probably not so
like
useful.
honestly, who cares? You just want
much
to know.
Better, you know. Like, and considering we're also now showing like the low states, right? So like we are not only like going up to the hot, but we're also going down to the frozen even. When an item is frozen, when an edible is frozen, you cannot eat it. Okay, so now we got the meat hot, and you can actually see that it's steaming. I would advise not to eat this yet.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's just like with pizza, you need to eat it. Yeah.
So it's too hot for the character. So yeah, I will have to wait until it cools down. When I eat it warm, it will give me some warm benefits still. So, you know, still worth it. The reason I walked up the hill is to show you basically a feature that you can find on existing maps now in 1.6 on Chernarus and Livonia. We kind of call it like morning fog, coastal fog. There is a chance that it will happen in various densities and it will dissipate, you know, soon after the morning. Just we basically wanted to have it a little more varied, you know, more dynamic, the weather. So this is basically, we were able to actually get an API that controls this. There's a dev block about it. So yeah, basically you could see that it's much less foggier here compared to the bottom. You may actually see this happening in various densities on Chernarus and Livonia, so get ready to be a little spooked maybe. It's gonna increase the atmosphere on the coast. When we started working on Saka...
Saka is the Frostline map,
exactly.
for those who don't know.
We started realizing like how much of scenery are you gonna miss if you don't see too far. And we're like, can we make this as an actual like legit option, you know? So because often when we work on stuff, we increase the view distance, you know, just to see how it looks and, you know, to have an overview. And decided to actually re-implement kind of the control over the view distance and control over the terrain and object view distance. Right now I'm just gonna like quickly show it to you. So we got the new terrain and object visibility parameters here. This is just for PC, just to be clear.
Okay, and why is it not on consoles?
Because consoles do not have such a degree of customizability when it comes to the graphics quality. We do have some plans around that, but not for 1.6.
Okay, so it's not because we wouldn't appreciate our dear console players, but there are some specifics to PC that we can let people enjoy, and there's no reason not to. Right?
So like I said, we're not closing that page. Like we are thinking about it for the console platform too. But like this is for the PC specifically because they have all these different graphic settings. So yeah, basically you can now actually increase your view distance.
Yeah, let's go higher than high.
Can actually see.
It's a big difference
here. Now, just to be clear, this is purely client-side settings. It is not related to the network bubble itself, which is, I mean, the information about players and whatnot around you.
Okay.
So you are not gaining an advantage of like.
So you wouldn't see a fire over there and the guys. Okay, so
like it's just purely landscape advantage. So I guess if you are playing with these settings, you see more. So I mean, like, you know, I want to find Green Mountain. Like, if you have a higher read distance, you will perhaps see it, right? Like, we've added the fox. I'm super happy that we've been able to, this year to kind of like restart the production of the animals, you know, so we kind of had to like get like the workflows going when it comes to the AI and the animations. So yeah, super cool to see the animals
in the night. So here you guys go.
Yeah.
You should.
I can see the previews of the animations.
Yeah, you still should be able to hear us. So, just so you understand, this model is old, right? So the model will be tweaked. We'll show that in a second. But all these animations are brand new, so you can see how. Yeah. Again, it's just like real life.
Very nice. I mean, the fox is super cute. Like if you take your time, just watch it from back. It's like binoculars or something. Yeah, it does
exactly. And here you can see just like literally minutes before the start of the stream, someone just sent us a picture of the new model in game, so you can see the difference between the video, which is the old model, compared to this new one. And yeah,
there is one more animal.
Okay,
it's the hare.
It's the hare.
Yes.
Yeah, good for you, because I don't really see it.
See, it erased the.
Oh yeah. And that was a grave mistake.
Ah, look at it. So clueless.
I would be almost sorry for the hare.
Hello, Mr. Rabbit.
But since you have your short stick with crossbow, I think the hare will be fine. Yeah, he really doesn't care.
That was weird. Okay, well. He's over there.
I think you really need different weapon. This is.
I'm gonna sneak up on him.
Yeah. Like.
Okay, Mr. Rabbit.
How many rabbits do you need to defeat?
Yeah, I don't think
he's mocking you. He's openly mocking.
You will probably be able to see it more as we go on and loot more things, but basically, we figured out this year with like so many things changing in the game with Frostline, we figured out that we should look at the cargo sizes and general inventory sizes of like items. And because we felt that the inventory, like the cargo size, particularly when it comes to vests, jackets, and pants, was fairly big. Like you could very easily have a lot of space in the inventory. You often just end up running around picking up stuff, like without like thinking like, do I really need this that much, or will I not need it, and leave it for somebody else perhaps. Nice, good shot.
It's fine, it was a very bad bolt.
So yeah, we've looked at that, and you will see a general reduction of the inventory space of any gear, actually.
Yeah, that's. So people will be able to carry less?
Yes.
I'm sure they will love it. There won't be one single salty comment on social media. But, I mean, on the other hand, like, it adds a lot to the survival aspect, so, like,
The inventory was very big, we fought that for a long time, we were searching for, like, a good opportunity to do it. Now we want to 6, we're like, okay, let's do it, So, think about it, right? Like, I mean, I find some stuff, I'll have to think about it. Do I need it? Do I not need it? We kind of left the backpacks right now still be. We will see if we decide to touch the backpacks, but the backpacks were largely not touched yet.
Some people are asking about double pluses.
Oh,
I think that referred to the thermometer. I mean, the UI.
Yeah. That's actually a fairly good point. We can talk about that part.
Okay, but maybe in front of a fire.
Okay, so yeah, we are next to a fire now. So I guess the sub people have noticed that there is indeed pluses pulsing at the lower hut.
Wait. Right here.
Yeah. So basically, this is part of like a large changes that we've done in the, like, I guess, character environment exposure. Like how what's the logic of like the heat exchange between the environment and the player. It's like it's a very complex topic. Essentially, the heat buffer, you are used to see a plus symbol when you spend enough time next to a fire. It heated you up. It kind of looked like it's 0-1. It was never 0-1, so we added these pluses to basically like help you see how much have you heated up next to the fire. So when you leave it will start pulsing again, and it will like there will be less pluses, and eventually the pluses will be gone. And so like think about like the heat buffer, how we call it internally, is kind of like this. Okay, I warmed up, and now I will keep the heat for a time.
And so you can also heat up by, let's say, cooking a steak and putting it to your t-shirt, right? And stuff like that. Does it also work with players?
It will like warm you up a little bit when it comes to like the overall comfort, but it will not give you the heat buff itself. And like for that, you have to be next to a fire, actual fire.
Someone wants to know if he cuddles with people who has this heat buff.
No.
Will it transfer?
It's a very requested feature, but not.
So, make DayZ cuddly again.
Actually, or we've been essentially facing the challenge of like, okay, we have game mechanics. How do we make them work on all these different maps that we have, right? Because we have some like Chernarus Autonom, Summer Livonia, and then we have like Winter Sakal, right? So we had to make sure that the game mechanics like adjust to this, and like all the maps are playable, right? So it's like one side that we haven't talked about, and that's like a change to the experience that you will have on Chernarus and Livonia. It will be different from what you are used to, and that's basically the fact that like if you dress up too much, you're gonna be overheating, right?
Okay.
So you will have to dress up accordingly to the environment. We supported this through the central economy, so basically Livonia will have a lot more like this, like lighter clothes, summer clothes. Chernarus will have, like this like a little colder mix of clothes, and Sakal will be more winter oriented essentially. So yeah, we looked at that. I guess Legacy players remember the like taking baths in the ponds.
Yeah. I mean, a firefight.
It will not be that extreme, but like maybe if you dress up too much. Just gonna chill here and log off because it's not actually in the game. It's in the main menu.
Okay.
So obviously, like with 1.2.6, with the new map coming to the base game. So yeah, we've changed the server browser a little bit. Yeah, we want to make sure that it's very it's easier to basically like find the servers, find the right servers. So one of the things that we did for the official servers is that we changed the server naming convention. The names are much simpler and more straightforward. We've added a new map column. By the way, what I'm talking about, like that is applied for all the server browsers within the game, because we have the PC in the game, we have the console in the game, and we also have the launcher. So we try to make sure that it's like unified across all these things. So what I'm saying is like it will happen on all of them essentially. So yeah, we got the new map column here. We've got the detail section that is no longer part of the list, but is like extracted to the right side. Here we've got the details much better readable. There is a new box that is called server description. You can see I've had like my description here. Edit.
And by the way, 0126
is my server.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have the description. So like server owners don't have to put all the things that the server does into the server name anymore. They will just put it here. You can like put a Discord link or whatever, like into this nice little box. The server filters are obviously still there. So that's basically like a little like quality, like not a little, like quite a lot of quality of life changes to the server browser, which will hopefully improve the experience on all platforms actually. when it comes to like finding a right server to play on, essentially.
Okay, that's right.